Hey guys, Dorothy here, and I'm here today to share a swap and a story, probably a story that you won't be able to believe, one, that involves love and disease and war and disaster. And finally, in the end, thanks to two junk journalers, it's sort of coming back home. So I will share that in a minute. Once we get through the swap, I want to share this first. I got a swap I exchanged with Michaelanne, and absolutely gorgeous, just gorgeous. I'll let you see the front and the back, and I'm pretty sure this is tissue paper. This was an altered file swap that I did. Absolutely love. I love it. It's just gorgeous. And she was worried it didn't look good. I'm like, it's perfect. So let's start with the inside first. I mean, seriously, look at that envelope. Amazing. So, there was a tag, or a pocket. Oh, a little old doily. Such a cute card with a bit of lace. Cute, cute, cute. I may have to steal that, Michaelanne. I really like the way you made your tuck booklet. Oh, and there it looks, I'm pretty sure it's a homemade glassine bag, maybe out of wax paper. I love the birds. It's like just perfect. Let me get in there and get it out without... Hello there! It's a tag. Absolutely gorgeous. I could be wrong, but those really look like Tim Holtz, but it may not be. And inspired. Oh, it looks a little notepad. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It's just so pretty. Yeah, you did an excellent job. I don't know why you were worried about it looking good. It's gorgeous. I love that bird. You have to tell me what stamp you used. I like that. It's a vintage letter from the Fairmont Creamery Company, April 23rd, 1923. That is pretty. The milkway runs down the farm. It is early and late, returns come slow. The creamway builds up the farm. It is easy and a regular cream is cash. Ah, that's cute. I like it. I love the coffee dyed on there. It's gorgeous. So that was inside. And then on the outside there is a glassine bag with some lace. Again, I'm pretty sure this is made out of wax paper. The napkin. I love green. And it's a tuck. Oh, there's a little bitty one. I like that butterfly washi too. Oh, it's a guest check. Tuck. Pretty, pretty. It's a small tag. Note to self. PHS reunion class of 33. At the Mayfair Hotel, Lafayette Hotel, Portland, Maine. $4 per person. Cute, cute. I absolutely do love this. I love these. Michaelanne, if you see this, I want to know where you got this. I love this. And in the tuck, there's an envelope, again with some napkin on it. It's gorgeous. Stamp, postmark. You did such a good job on this. I don't know why you were worried about it. To Davis and Dillenbach, proprietors of the Boston Times. Cute. But you did that coffee staining is gorgeous. And then it looks like on the back of it, she's printed off a letter too. Huh. Oh, it looks like a diary, like excerpts out of a diary. How cute. This is gorgeous. And so we swapped, and I adored this. I loved it. But just to tell you a little bit about myself is I have a past history of, I was a genealogist, and so I do genealogy still, like trace your family back to Ireland genealogy, not like, you know, dabble in it. I mean, I die pretty hardcore. And so this was in the swap folder that she sent, and it's a letter, and I'm not going to, you know, read the people's names because I think, you know, people need privacy, but it's from Shepherdsfield, Texas. It's dated October 9th, 1942. So I will read this letter to you, but I won't use names. I'll use John and Susie. How's that work? It says, "Dear Susie, this is Thursday the 8th, and I've had a lot of marching, drilling, and mental tests. I want to see you very badly, so I decided that if you could get in good with the doctor or nurse and send me a telegram telling me that you are worse, your condition I mean, they would let me come and see you. I found out that if I receive such a telegram, the Red Cross makes a minor check of it, and then I can go and see you. A boyfriend of mine wants to see his wife, so when and if you find out you can send a telegram, let his wife know so that she can send one at the same time. Her address is 50 Peterborough Claypool Apartments, Detroit, Michigan. Her name is Bonnie. Please do the best you can for me because I really want to see you at least once more. Also get in touch with my mother and tell her to forward me some money. Tell her not to send a personal check. She can send a money order or send it in cash. I received your letter yesterday, and boy was I glad. I also got a letter from Mother. I'll send you a picture postcard of me or a large picture as soon as I can get a pass to town. I miss you very much, and I ain't kidding. I love you very, very much and want to see you more if that's possible. I'll look for your telegram impatiently, so get busy real fast. Your devoted, loving husband, John. P.S. You're the sweetest girl in the world. XXXXX. Absolutely cute. But as a genealogist, I wanted to know more. I was intrigued with the story. And I was actually intrigued because when he addresses the letter to her, he uses a maiden name, not a married name, but he tells her he's devoted husband. In the 40s, it wasn't common for women to keep their maiden names. So I don't know if it was just an oversight, maybe a bad habit because, you know, he had done it without thinking, or if he wanted to make sure that it got to her. But I had to double check because I wanted to know if they were married. So being a genealogist, I went to Ancestry.com and tried to see if I could find a marriage license. And I did find a marriage license. They were indeed married. That led to several things, like me finding an obituary and, you know, finding where they lived, which, you know, was just added information for me. But when I pulled up the obituary, I found out that John had died in 2004 and Susie just died in 2014. Well, when she died in 2014, it listed all of her kids and the places that they lived. Well, being a genealogist, I was sort of touched and, you know, sort of torn because I know we use vintage things. And I know, you know, we use old letters that we buy, you know, at antique malls and estate sales and all that. And I think sometimes we don't think about behind, you know, the things we use, there's a story there, you know, and sometimes I don't think we think that too far past, so we're using it. So I actually found a phone number for one of the children of John and Susie, and I actually spoke with him because I wanted to see if he wanted this letter back, because to me, you know, a love letter from your parents, especially if both of them have passed on, is just a blessing that you don't find. So I actually spoke to John Jr. and in fact he did want it. He actually broke down and started crying. He was very, very moved. When he was 16 in 1962, they had a house fire. And when the house fire happened, they lost everything. Clothes, pictures, books, everything. So, you know, the fact that these letters are out there floating around is amazing. Even more so amazing is that the letter when John sent it to Susie is actually addressed to the Oakland County TB Sanitarium, Cooley Lake Road, Pontiac, Michigan. So she was in a TB hospital, you know, so a lot of people died from TB, you know, so the fact that she even lived is amazing. The fact that, you know, in 1946, you know, she had been released from the hospital because obviously by then they had found a cure, not a cure, but, you know, they had, that helped people get over TB. So it was only in 1946 that she had John Jr. It's just, it's amazing to me, and hopefully Michaelanne will chime in the comments, because, you know, she had a big part in this. I mean, she sent the letter, you know, so I actually got in contact with her, and there's other letters that she's going to be returning or sending to me so I can return them to John Jr. And, you know, she had even given a journal to someone else, and she contacted that person, and that person's going to mail the letter back to her so she can mail it to me to get to John Jr. So, you know, it's just amazing, you know, sort of the turnabout, this, you know, the circle of life, per se, you know, that it's going home, you know, after 77 years. This letter is going back to the family where it came from. And I think sometimes, you know, as junk journalists, we do use vintage items, and, you know, we use postcards, we use letters, we use pictures, you know, and things like that. And, you know, if I could caution anybody, just, not just as a journalist, but as a genealogist, you know, if you have a vintage item and you're actually wanting to put it in a journal or in a swap or something like that, if I can caution you, you know, if you want to decorate it, if you want to, decoupage it, or you want to stamp it or anything like that, you know, put lace on it or whatever, you know, make a copy. Use the scanned copy. Don't use the original. You know, either keep the original in your possession in a file, or, you know, if you are going to involve it in a swap, you know, decorate, you know, a different item. Make a bigger envelope, you know, and use it as an insert inside the envelope. You know, sort of protect those, because you never know when it may lead to, like in a case like here where John Jr., you know, at 70 years old, you know, breaks down crying on the phone with me because they have nothing of their parents, and now they're going to have this letter, all because I sort of, you know, trace the providence of this letter to find out, you know, where'd it come from, just because I was just curious, you know, about this couple, you know. And, you know, as the story unfolded, you know, it's just amazing. I mean, obviously it was meant to be. Me and Michaelanne was talking about that the connection, the fact that, you know, we swapped, and the fact it just happened that I got it, you know, and now we're able to return these letters, you know. So I would just sort of caution you, if, you know, if you're going to use vintage items, and you don't have to, you know, you don't have to do what I say, obviously. I'm just, as a genealogist, as someone out there who, you know, knows the amount of people who are searching, you know, and if you do have a vintage item and say you want to, you know, check to see if somebody might belong to that, you know, if you scan it, you know, and make copies of it, or, you know, whatever you do with it, and then you decide you want to see if there's somebody there, you know, Facebook has tons of groups. There's genealogy groups for, like, each area, you know, like here, like it's in Pontiac, Michigan. So, you know, I can go on Facebook, and there's going to be a genealogy group for the Pontiac, Michigan, or Oakland County, you know, Oakland County, Michigan, you know. So you can do that, you know, you don't have to, obviously. You know, I could take this and cut it up and, you know, glue it on, you know, as a backdrop on a page or whatever. But just as a genealogist, I thought I would throw that out there, you know, maybe a thought that some people hadn't thought about that, you know. And as me and Michaelanne both watched sort of this whole story unfolded, you know, you stand back, you're sort of amazed, going, wait a minute, you know, this is from a swap, you know. It's just, in the world today, with the way things are, and as bad as things are, you know, just a touch of right, you know, sort of helps balance the scales. So I just wanted to share this with you, this story and this swap. It's amazing. Like I said, Michaelanne, I love it. I love that little button. It's gorgeous. So I just wanted to share this with you today. And, you know, I'm sorry to be on my soapbox. You know, wasn't trying to be preachy or, you know, whatever term people want to use, but I just wanted to share because I think sometimes we don't think about, you know, where things come from or, you know, who they belong to. You know, really what is the soul, the heart and soul of, you know, the items we use. So I just thought I would throw that out there and share with you this morning. I will talk to you later. May your paper cut straight and may your glue always stick.